Hey everybody, welcome back to some chess. I'm playing against Jean-Francois. Roughly the same rating here, more or less, and I've been tumbling a little bit. I'm not gonna deny that I have been tumbling down. I'm also not gonna deny that I have any idea how this is played. This is the Queen's Pawn opening, the Chigorian variation. What I'm thinking right now is the next few moves look a little bit like this, followed by that maybe, and then we'll figure out what's going on with this bishop. That's a move I don't really understand. I guess they don't want my bishop to challenge their knight. But if you want to play a closed game, then I'm contented to play a closed game with you. It does not concern me in the slightest. Let's see. You want to swap? If you want to swap, by all means. I would gladly take that bishop off your hands. I'll pay you Tuesday for an hamburger today. We've made a colossal mistake. No, we haven't. Yes, we have. Yes, we have. I mean, it's not like an enormous problem. I think. Hold on. Something like this. I'm trying to protect from the fork here. That's the problem. I have no idea. This seemed like the only move. Sorry, let me get it. This seemed like the only move I had that actually did that. Whether or not that's true, I don't know. But what I do know is, like, what if we just did this, dude? Things are about to get messy. Because you could have forked. I don't know if it's the right play. Because you could still fork. But it's certainly something. There's no denying that this is something. Let's try a little of this. Am I content at this point to trade? I would say that's an astute observation. You might suggest that perhaps, what would be... You know what's interesting here is actually this move. Am I willing to do it? You know what I'm willing to do first is this right here. Let's see how things go from here. Let's see how Jean-Francois feels about this. Presumably he's going to move bishop back, at which point we have a choice yet again. We will, I think, just continue the capture. And then let's do this, which I actually like a lot because it threatens this pawn, and it also threatens the knight. Kind of forces it back to f3 would be my expectation. Okay. Not necessarily a horrible move, but an interesting one. Allows us to get a little bit of extra pressure by having our knight have unfettered access up here. I would say I'm definitely feeling somewhat confident, especially with us being up a piece right now. We're up one knight, in case you're following. I would give ourselves a strong chance here. There's a lot of potentially interesting moves for us. I kind of like this. You know my philosophy. Once we get ahead, I want to trade down. I want to simplify the game. I don't know what to think about this, but I'm pretty sure we have like a pseudo mate. Like, we go here, it's check. He's not going to want to move his queen here because I'll take it with the knight. So instead, if I could just clear that move, he'll move his king here, at which point we'll fork him, and like it looks good, and we're still threatening mate on that piece right there. So unless I'm insane, I think I really like this move right here, and I'm increasingly getting hopeful. Actually, this is not a fork, this is mate. I'm increasingly getting hopeful that we're about to end our losing streak with a pretty convincing victory. Let's see. I've been known to make mistakes in the past. I've been known to blunder. They have resigned. Okay. That was a good game. We made a blunder, which is pretty surprising considering the game was only 14 minutes long. Or 14 moves long, sorry. It was 4 minutes long. So let's see what happened there. Let's see what happened, Jean-Francois. Let's see what happened. D4 is a book move. I'm unfamiliar, but I know D5 matches it. Book move, book move, book move. Excellent move, but not a book move. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, it depends, right? Like, my move is excellent, their move is best. I do trust the computer. But I kind of like developing the bishop before making that move right there, because when you develop the bishop, it's kind of out. This blocks it in. It does leave you with this to possibly like develop it along this diagonal, I suppose, but I kind of prefer getting it out there, but I don't know. That might be a matter of personal preference. A3 is excellent. That was a move that I was quizzical about. I didn't understand. E6 is excellent, sure. It's a good move. That's the best move. How about that? It's a good move. That was... What? A6 is an inaccuracy. Queen to A5 check is the best move. That makes sense. We eventually discovered that. Good. No complaints. We like it. Questionable move. E3 would have been better. Well, not during COVID. Great move. We got it. Best move. Oh my God, what were you thinking? I'm surprised that this is such a colossal error here. Can I tell you? I think I've recognized the blunder. Why wouldn't you just take the bishop? Okay, so we got insanely lucky. And then their response was this. B4 is a missed win. Absolutely. I agree. We got so unbelievably... It's so funny that this whole game, I thought... Okay, so we did it there. Let's get a new one going here. That whole game, I thought that I was crushing it and I was never in danger. We actually won due to a missed blunder opportunity. All right, my fellow Canadian, Sethern, let's do this. 1331. I'm starting to try to get a feel for the Sicilian defense again. It's been a while. I'm trying. Was Jean-Francois a good sport, by the way? Absolutely. I like this move first to protect against this. You're going to develop the bishop, maybe? I don't know what I'm doing now. I'm like, immediately I feel like I've kind of made a mistake already. I'll definitely cap that. I don't mind. And then to be honest, like, I would love to. That doesn't bother me at all, dude. Would you give me the pawn? I have a feeling you're going to put me in check. This just feels like one of those times, one of those gamers who puts you in check. Okay, no worries then. You gonna castle queenside? That seems funky to me, but I'm willing to give you a chance. I'm gonna work to develop my bishop along this diagonal. It's got a lot of power right now. I mean, because of the three pieces that are connected by the diagonal for sure, but also like this open pawn here gives us kind of a window into them, this side, if they just choose to castle queenside, which they did, obviously. Now the problem is we have to figure out what we're doing. I think our strategy relies on a kingside castle so that this is technically no longer threatened to begin with. Can I tell you something? I really like... I think I'm going to set up like an interesting move here, okay? I want to put a threat on the knight, which is also going to cause a diversion. So my eventual play is I want to be able to fork these two rooks. The queen will move. I think we should move our queen to here first, which allows us to get a double discovered attack on the knight. And then we can do this and force them to make a decision. My hunch. Now, this all falls apart if they move knight to here. But maybe I'm okay with that. So they would move knight to here, at which point I take, they take, or take with the queen, but I think the pawn is probably stronger, and the game becomes interesting. I think I like where I stand. I know I'm taking too much time here. That's a common complaint. I still like this move, though. Let's force Sethern to figure out where they stand. Now, if they do knight to here, it's kind of a weird one. Interesting. Okay, so here's what I like. This doesn't help much. Admittedly. But this might buy us a minute. This might buy us some time. Southern has disconnected. So here's what I'm thinking. We go here. He'll probably move a rook, is my expectation. Otherwise, we get an easy fork. It's pretty easy to spot. If he moves a rook, we can always move our knight back. And this is still like a pretty good position for us to be in. I think this knight is stronger here than it was in our other position, and it keeps our discovered attack going. And beyond just keeping our discovered attack going along this diagonal, it also opens up a potential check. We would get captured, but we could use this to our advantage in some circumstances at least. But alas, fission mailed. So let's throw a castle in there. Just studying it. You know how dogs is and all that. What do you like about this? You know, what do you think about that move? Can I tell you something? I don't like it. I think I prefer. What if I go here? Are you gonna block me in? Yes. I've forgotten what I was doing. Go here. Okay. Sometimes I can see 3 moves ahead. Sometimes I can't even see 1 move behind. So I still like our position for sure, but it's modestly strange. Maybe is a good way to put it. Certainly, I feel like this is perhaps an inaccuracy on our enemy's side. We have this pawn now is in quite a dangerous position. Probably forces that move right there. And then all we have to do is get this knight out of this position, at which point we really can start working down. We get our knight to here maybe, and it's not a great spot right now. We get our knight to there. We start to threaten something like this. Like there's some spicy stuff. I'm not suggesting there's some chess computing going on here. Merely raising the hypothetical. That seems to be a lot of alt-tabbing. Just throwing that out there. Now, if we can't beat an alt-tabbed opponent, I don't know what to say. But I'll tell you something. So we go here. This threatens mate. Maybe not mate. It threatens a good attack. Probably forces this. Do we like that move? No. We love that move. Yeah. I want to force this. I want to force your hand. I want to force your hand. That's the only move that I could see. This is a blunder. Because we take. I don't know what else is available here. I like my position, though. I'll tell you. I like my position. Who knows? We're playing the Zack Snyder variation of the Sicilian defense. We got some slow-mo. Bishop takes knight. Pawn pushes against other pawn. Interesting. Now, this is where you go, huh? Because we actually are genuinely threatening mate now. I don't see a good reason not to take this. We, in my opinion, don't appear to be in any threat of immediate harm. And now we have this protection right here. We're kind of in. This is not how that works. This protection. So the queen going here is mate. I feel like this. We now have 75 different possible checkmate scenarios. Good game. It's a good game, Saturn. Okay, we go. You know what? We kind of needed something like this. A 2-win victory with 2 mistakes. Let's go with an analysis here. Let's see where we stand. Okay. How'd we do? I'm going to say that, we trapped it. Oh, no, we did it. I'm going to say that we played like an 85 game. 89. Nice win. You were never in trouble. Okay, so we played the Sicilian defense. Let's go back to analysis. It's a book move. Interesting. It's a book move. This is about where I fall apart. They really like the c6 move, huh? That's the best move. All right, so we're pretty much hanging tough right now. That's the best move. Good move. Good move. Very questionable move. I agree. that moved things in our favor. But like castling kingside tends to be safer because your king ends up one column closer to the edge instead of being like the center is always a little bit more in play most of the time. Always most of the time, I guess, is a contradiction, but it tends to put your king in a more defensible position. Like this castle queenside was very strange for me. It was available, and all the pieces on this side were developed, admittedly. And by the way, sometimes castling queenside is the right play. So it would have been more effort to castle kingside, but just consider what it would have looked like if it was king here, rook here, instead of king here, where it has all these vectors for like possible attacks, especially with this being wide open down here for our rook to get to eventually if we had to. Anyway, a minor inaccuracy at least at this level. G7 was best. I liked that move too. It was a good move back from them. Very questionable move, a C7 inaccuracy. Because I outthought myself. I thought that the fork threaten was the right idea, but I also wanted to stack up some danger there. So I understand that this seems like an inaccuracy. And I mean, I guess it is. Now that I think about it, it is because, well, no, because you would think that like, oh, well, you're going to, if you get in a position to fork three pieces, they can only move one piece out of the way. But rather, what I was concerned about is the idea that even though that's not amazing, that they would just block the fork to begin with. But I don't know. I trust the computer. Not a good move. Best move. Best move. Good move. Good move. Actually, I really like what the computer's trying to do for white here. I threatened their queen. This is like intermediate level stuff. But what if when I threaten their queen, instead of doing that, they threaten my queen, which also comes with the threat of a fork on the rook. So I would have been forced to deal with that threat first. What would I have done? I don't have an answer for you. Probably like, honestly, I think queen to here is pretty strong. But anyway, because it threatens this pawn as well. But that would have been a better line, I think. So castling was fine. Good move. Best move. Good move. Best move. Best move. That surprised me. Okay. Pressuring you. Best move. And this is A3. You can see they fell 8 points behind as a result of that. This maybe it was a misclick. Like, I wonder what would happen if they had done that instead. Like, how does this look if they do this? A4 is played. It's still a mistake, but is half as bad. Okay, well, anyway, this is what they did. We took, which was best move. It's a blunder, and then it's over. Okay, well, you know, I thought we played a pretty decent game there. Let's play online again. Were they a good sport? Absolutely, they were a good sport. I was not a good sport. Oh, not a rematch, sorry. I apologize for accusing you of using a chess computer. We will play against Shatorange 15. Just Orange 15. And we'll be playing the E4 variant of the egg defense. Very, very strange, but I'm willing to do it. That's... Leaving this open is a pretty spicy play, but I'm not going to say is wrong necessarily, but this little pawn setup here is like, it's a little cursed for sure. I don't really want to start trading though. Just confused, I guess, is what I would say. So I think... I want to go back. I no longer want my bishop to be here because I want my knight to threaten this piece. This is the Petrov's Defense 3 Knights game, in case you're curious. I don't want to lose tempo on it but I'm kind of willing to. They seem to also be a fast player, so I kind of want to force their hand a little bit, you know? Like, let's see how you respond to this. Pretty good move, honestly. Maybe I tunnel vision that a little bit too hard. Wouldn't be the first time. Now, this is spicy, but I want to do it. Interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Take me back. I would always rather have like a discovered attack, because I like the knight is not that good. I much prefer this position, honestly. I want to see how they're going to approach this. Obviously, they want to move the rook. I want this gone too, though. This is where things get very interesting. This is where you want to like take your time, because this could change a lot. I want this knight gone. I'm willing to trade this, but I want this knight gone. I'm concerned about time. I'm not overly concerned about time, but it's on the mind for sure. I really almost want to sack the bishop to take that. I know it seems absurd. It kind of is absurd. That maybe that's what I like about it. You ever consider that? I don't know what to do. I'm just going to be straight up with you. I want this gone, but I'm not really willing to spend for it. Let's try that. I think it's a weird, like, inaccuracy, but I'm taking too much time. If it's an inert move, I can live with it. I really want to... So here's my new game plan as well. I kind of want to start stacking up drama. I really like this, but we need to be able to defend the piece first. So I'm actually... Yeah, okay, I'm going to match you there. We're going to play a little shot for shot there. This bishop is still decent. The knights are strong. There's no denying that. You're going to go here for sure. So I respect this position. And if you want to go here, I'll trade you to screw up your pawns. The only way you're going to cap that is by getting your pawns screwed up. So it's an interesting game. More than willing. Now they can't move this rook, or we take that too, which is really nice for us. So we gotta maybe move a little faster. Let's get weird. I want to block this move. I think. I had a feeling we'd be looking at something like that, but honestly, that's a good situation for us to be in. We'll go here now. It's a good situation to be in because now this piece is open. So what are you going to do? Oh, you're going to put up some protection on it. Kind of a surprise. We're gonna start to. It leaves this piece open. We got to do this real quick. We don't want the queen to just be able to swoop in. It's not about the pawn. It's more about them getting like completely in behind enemy lines. We want to put some pressure on this piece. And this rook, again, is kind of pinched, which we love to see. If you want to push it in, go ahead and push it in. We're going to put some more pressure on this knight here. I have no idea if we're playing anything that looks even slightly reasonable right now. But hear me out. I'm like, okay, what if we take? You take. I think I like this. Just work with me for a second. They're able to move this piece now. Okay. Here's my line. Take a pawn. You probably take, I would imagine. We take. Or do we put you in check? I think we take. Yeah, we have to take. then you probably take. I can't imagine you do anything but take. So let's look at this. Take, take. What happens next? We take. You could do something else, but you're probably going to take. At which point, we put you in check. You move back to here. We take, and we're up a piece. If this is wrong, I apologize, but we're making big plays. We're lighting fireworks. Let's see. This is what's going to determine the outcome of the game for positive or negative. Is that move right there? Yeah, is for negative. It's for negative. So we don't want to trade with you anymore. I don't want to trade with you, Woody. Why did I do that? Basically, I'm dumb, and I didn't walk through the entire analysis. There's nothing more to say about it than that, really. It's the honest to goodness truth, and we come by it honestly. This is a real problem. Yeah, we basically can't do anything. Like if we block here, they just take us. If we move this up, they put us in checkmate. So, I mean, we're not gonna just ice this one. I guess we could do this. It's still checkmate. You son of a. All right, well, you do that. Okay, so I got baited. Even though I called the checkmate, I was like, I gotcha. Okay, let's start doing some freaky deaky stuff. We don't really want to swap. Like, we want to keep the game as complicated as possible. We have to do this to block the mate. They got a real advantage, obviously. I mean, they're one rook up, and it's not getting any better for me. We should resign. Like, the right outcome is to resign. Why are we not resigning then? There's always a chance, but like this is probably one of my more embarrassing losses because literally I just miscalculated. And I'm kind of just making moves to make moves, right? Like this is one where, yeah, you just resign on this one. I don't even, this is a very common thing. I guarantee we're going to look at this analysis. It's going to be high, and then it's going to slip through our fingers. That seems to be our common archetype right now. Let me guess. Tough game. Your opponent played well. I mean, they did have 93% accuracy. This is the peak of our game right there. So what did they want us to do? Everything else was pretty standard up until then. So let's go into the analysis from this point forward. Okay, so what did I do here? I did, so we're on move 24, b4. Yeah. I did queen to f2 to start threatening this. Let's see how that looks. That was a good move. You know what? They liked it. Where did it go wrong then? That's a good move. That's a huge blunder. Yes. Good move. Questionable move. We should have just let the bishop die. Good move. Good move. See, that's where it fell apart. Ooh. Huge blunder? Why? C2 is a blunder, but it only lost you negative 0.35 points. I mean, from this point onwards, it was essentially over. Yeah. I mean, it's not. We're down by 14 points there. All right, it was a good video. It happens, you know. It happens that comes to pass. For now, thanks for watching. We're still having a lot of fun. If you enjoyed it, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more chess in the future. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. See ya!